So this is the before of the double garage. It's got just some tire marks, a little bit of oil stains. This is an area that had a lot of oil stains, and I did a test section, just put some muriatic acid on to see if it would eat the oil. And then just some discoloration along the backside. Okay, so the thought again is I'm going to use muriatic acid to etch the concrete, and then I'm going to pressure wash, and hopefully stains like this will come up. And I'm just going to cut it in, you know, nothing precise, but just work my way through here, paint underneath the bench, and all the way. So again, we have oil stains, tire marks, a little bit more oil stains, tire marks, some stains, tire mark, stain. And then out here is not too bad, but I will go ahead and paint that also. And what I'm gonna do is I have a shop vac here ready. So any acid I put here, I'm gonna dilute enough to make it not active anymore. Suck it out of here and then use the pump to send it into the grass over there and try to protect the driveway a little bit. I'm gonna use a pressure washer. And here we go. So again, just an overview. Here's the view. We'll see if we can make this look good. At this point, I've put 4 gallons of muriatic acid down, and I've basically spread it around. It turns yellow at first, and then it turns white, and I'm just letting it sit on here and cook. It's basically cooking the concrete, taking that top layer off. I did broom it around a little bit. You can see the swirl marks where I basically was using a watering pail, and I just went back and forth all the way down, getting the major, and I did not want to touch our stuff, so I basically stopped a little short. So I did 2 gallons that way. I did 1 gallon with the pump sprayer to get in between the swirls. And now I'm really just trying to monitor that not too much comes off. I do plan to paint down and the curb, but I don't want to damage the driveway. So I'm letting it sit, and I'm maintaining, you know, where it is so that it doesn't just run off full force. I will dilute it down and then flush it, and then I'm going to pressure wash it with a certain pressure washer tip. So just wanted to show you right now it is etching the concrete. You can just see it. And again, since we're painting it, I don't care about the appearance, so I'm kind of letting it sit longer than I probably should, but it's doing its job right now. So I'm letting it sit. Now I'm going to dilute it and suck it out with the shop vac. Again, when it goes in there, it should be fairly diluted, and then I will send it to the grass because I don't want it to damage the driveway. Here we go. Okay, pressure washing is finished. The thing I did well this time was before I even did the pressure washing, I used the shop vac to suck up a lot of the water, because after the acid etch, there's a layer of concrete and muck that sits on top. Last time when I did it, I went ahead and just pressure washed out, and it left a bunch of the gray out here, basically similar to this. This is what comes off the top of the concrete. It's just muddy muck. And luckily, again, this time I got most of it up with the shop vac before I did the pressure washing, but it's still, you know, quite a bit came off because the pressure washer does bring about a lot. But I wanted to show this. Again, it is uneven. Basically in the low spots, that's where the acid really sits and eats it. But I believe even the high spots that are a little cleaner will still take the paint. I focused on the oil spot. I wanted the oil spots and the tire marks. So when I pull my car in here where I'm gonna sit, I would love to have good adhesion. This is rough. Again, this is just gonna be clean, but not as rough. But I think I'm happy with the surface. Now I just wait 1 day to paint. So basically I just gotta wait for this to dry out. I did use the squeegee on the back of the broom to get the most of it out, but I was able to be careful. Again, I just put some acid to there because I did not want to get into what I have into these tuppers. So I made sure to keep the water away. And again, that'll be a low traffic area, so it doesn't need great paint. But here we go, this is done. The painting is about to begin. I have a couple of 5 gallons ready. I've tipped them over to help it settle, and then I'll stir it up. But just showing the surface, it looks dull, which is great. And I'll just blow out these leaves, but the surface is clean. You see a little bit of the swirl marks from the pressure washer. and obviously the marks from the muriatic acid. So it's not beautiful, but I do think it will take the paint well. The surface is clean, the surface is rough. Interestingly, this tire mark did stay, so hopefully that paints over. But all in all, I think the surface looks pretty clean. That's still that oil spot. That's fresh oil from mine. So obviously the oil didn't eat it, but I think it'll still cover. Hey, we have the first coat down, and I did a light coat, and you can still see the swirl marks, interestingly, of the muriatic acid, but I do believe on the second coat that'll even out. But I think I did good. Again, I did it lighter this time. Last time I put it on too thick to start, so I did a light coat, and we'll go back with another coat. Maybe even a third if needed, but no, so far it looks good. Again, even though you can still see the swirls from where the acid hit, I believe those will go out this time. I did work side to side this time. Next time I'm gonna work front and back. Tool wise, I have it all out here, and I'm just working off of this platform. All right, project is complete. Let's wrap it up. So the material wise, I used a 5 gallon plus a little bit. So it's 150 plus a little, let's say $200 in paint. I used 4 gallons of muriatic acid. Next time I would probably use 5. So there you're talking about 60. So $200 in paint, $60 in acid. This project, I ended up doing 3 coats and it looks great. The main concern is you want your front entry to be very good because the cars are going to constantly be hitting that edge. I'm happy with this. I think the lesson I learned here is that I did use pure strength muriatic acid when I poured it, and it looked like it etched it so strongly that I cannot get rid of that etching for now, which again, if I did a 4th coat, maybe it would go away. I'm not concerned, but a lesson learned is I will dilute the acid a little bit and then apply it. The other downside, no matter how safe I thought I was being, the runoff. When you acid etch and then you pressure wash it off, the gray comes off, the top layer of concrete comes off, and it does stain your driveway. Now, if you've already diluted it, it doesn't etch the driveway, but you need to be prepared to pressure wash and clean the driveway. So total cost, again, $260 in material. The prep took 2 hours. The painting took 3 hours. So you have 5 hours of labor. So let's just say that's $500. I know it's $100 an hour, but you talk about prep time, setup time, and equipment cost, plus paint rollers and all the poles and all the other stuff. So again, $260 material, $500 in labor, so $760 just to do a 2-car garage, $760. Now, after that, I think you have another $150 or $200 to clean the driveway. So total project cost is $900 to take a 2-car garage, acid etch it, pressure wash it, paint it, and then when you're finished, also pressure wash the driveway. So again, about $900 total to get the job done. All right, good job, and the job is complete.